You're listening to the Gentleman's Corner podcast, where two men are on a quest to rule the world. Tune in every Monday for a new episode.
Welcome back to the Gentleman's Corner podcast, and let me tell you, are we ever ready to go? Kyle? Well, looks like I'm going to be doing this one solo today. It's definitely going to be a shorter one. I've added a picture of Kyle using my best Photoshop skills so we can still see him while we talk, and I'll just give you an update of what's been going on, I guess. Kyle's currently busy making money right now, so he's not able to make it to podcast number 8, which is quite unfortunate, I would say, but that's all right. I'll try to manage and see where we can go. I wouldn't say much has happened since the last episode. Kyle got a scooter, pretty exciting. I know he was waiting on that for quite a while, even with the delayed shipping that he had for a bit. I actually went to his place the day he got it, but it was raining, so he couldn't try it out. But he said he made a couple trips, fairly lengthy, I believe, and he'll definitely tell us all about it when he comes back next episode. In regards to me and my news, I can't say anything dramatic has changed. I worked and tried to catch up on some sleep, and besides that, I've just been trying to enjoy the weather a little bit. It's been pretty muggy and rainy, not too sunny, but you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. You can't get sunny days every day. My new squat rack came in from Squat Racks Canada, which was pretty exciting. It took a little bit to set up and get ready because it was pretty heavy, but it was still fun. It's very sturdy, much sturdier than the one I had from Amazon, and it's got some bigger safety spotter arms, which are definitely a little bit safer as well. And besides that, I don't really think there's much else new. I was cleaning earlier today, and after I moved some of the tables around the apartment, the one table, there was ants actually coming from under the floorboards, which was really odd. We've never really had an ant problem, and we also have a cat, which he usually eats all the little spiders and stuff that we see crawling around. So I started looking outside the window, and there's ants all over the ground, all over the wall. So we might have a little ant problem, which is not fun in my opinion. And I've been trying to look at safer ways for pest control that's safe for animals as well. But the only thing I could really find is apple cider and vinegar, and that would just make the whole apartment smell like vinegar, which is also not a pleasant smell. So I guess at the moment it's a lose-lose situation, and hopefully they don't get worse. But that just means the cat has to do a little bit more work around the house than sleep all day and wake us up at 4 a.m, because that's also not fun. Although I did see these plug-in electric pest control doodads. I can't remember what they're called, but I guess you just plug them in the wall, and they're supposed to make a high-pitched frequency sound that's supposed to deter insects and all that. But when I was looking at the reviews, for some person I guess it worked great, even with cockroaches and stuff. But some people were saying that the spiders are actually making a nest around or on top of the device, and it's not too expensive. I think it was $30 for 4 little plug-in devices. But if we could do something ourselves, that'd just be 10 times easier. That way we don't have to wait for shipping for a month, let them multiply, and then the whole house would be infested with ants. But at least we don't have cockroaches or spiders or snakes, big snakes that is. So ants are not really the end of the world, I'd say. But speaking about the whole end of the world thing, we were at Best Buy the other day looking at some new laptops, and we wait there in line for about 15 minutes. And by the time we finally get to the door, the lady is like, all right, somebody will be here to assist you and walk you through the process or whatever. So we go in, we meet with this guy, and he takes us to the computer section, but there's no computers out. So he's like, we don't have any computers, but I have my phone here. I could search up whatever you need and show you like what we have and tell you what's in stock. So we're in there for about 5 minutes, and he's just rambling on about computers and certain things that they have, but we pretty much just went in there to see what they have, because I'm not just going to buy a computer without physically looking at it. It's like, how are you going to buy a car or a TV without knowing exactly what you're getting? People do that. I've purchased many things without knowing what I'm getting, but I feel like a computer is one of those things that you really need to just see what the keyboard feels like, what the mouse feels like, how big the bezels are around a screen. There's just little things like that that you're not going to be fully able to look at just through a picture on Buddy's little phone. And it was just weird because, I mean, he was there with us. We're not just going to touch all the computers. They could easily wipe them down or just tell us not to touch any of them, because they still had TVs and all the rest of the products up. So it was just weird that their laptops were off. So we ended up just going to Staples, and there was no regulation there. You're able to touch whatever you want, and the guy there just wipes them down after you're done. So much better process, I'd say. But I just hope things slowly start opening up sooner rather than later. Certain things are still closed that I'd rather be open. I know one of my favorite restaurants actually bought a food truck to open up, and I went there the other day, and I think waited about an hour to take my order and another 45 minutes or so to actually receive my order, because it was so busy there. But I think it was worth the wait, because they have the best burgers in town, in my opinion. And I don't know about you, but this year's going by really quickly. It's already almost mid-July, and it feels like it was March 2 weeks ago. So it's pretty nuts. I started working overnights in, I can't even remember now exactly. So that just took over my whole week, because I work 11-hour shifts. So by the time I get home, I have about an hour to get some things finished, and then sleep for the afternoon, wake up and eat some food, and then get back to work. And the worst part of that is the lack of fresh air that I get. I'm pretty much getting fresh air from the 2 minutes I walk over the car and the minute that it takes me to walk inside, and vice versa. And I'm very much an outdoorsy person. I like to be outside as much as I can, whether that's kayaking or hiking or biking, whatever. Just being outside is great for the mind, I think. A lot of people don't get enough of that, especially with all of COVID going on, with the restrictions and regulations and all that. I guess there was a heat warning not too long ago too, stopping people from being able to go hiking in certain places. But yeah, you just gotta go outside more. You gotta enjoy the weather and get fresh air, or else you'll go crazy inside. Anywho, we're really sorry about this last minute solo episode. It was very unplanned and very short notice, so I wasn't able to really get anything ready. But I told myself I should at least try to talk for about 10 minutes or so to get at least an episode up, have you guys listen to something, if anyone's still listening, that is. But Kyle was very sad he couldn't make it. Things come up all the time, I guess, but we're going to try our best to keep pushing through and getting at least something up. We're still really small as a channel and podcast, but we're trying our best. It's never going to work out always, but that's all we can do, really. So thank you again for coming to episode 8. We will definitely have something more